Hey guys, Nick here with 9 to 5 Crypto, and today we're doing an overview recap of Galaverese Day 3. It was a live stream that just happened moments ago, and I have my thoughts in this video where I'm talking a little bit over some of the stuff. I forgot to pause the video a couple times and turn it down, so I apologize if you can't hear me. I think for the most part I did, but it's just my reaction. So if you like just non-scripted, podcasty, someone kind of rambling on, nerding out about video games and like the business aspect as well, being a business oriented person, you know, feel free to watch and stay tuned with that. But just want to give one shout out real quick to GGEOE game Twitter account. This is the Echoes of Empire Twitter account, the official Twitter account, followed by Gala Games and Sir Gala Chad, my personal account, as well as 9 to 5 Crypto. But they ended up following me back, and I just wanted to say thank you so much, especially being someone that's just new to this, not perfect at editing their videos, and they could be a lot better, and just being someone that's very early in their YouTube career, so to speak. Just means a lot. It means a ton to me. This Twitter account also does not have enough followers for the Space 4X game that they are going to be releasing. And I think, you know, they had a playable build. Sorry, this is a little digitized. It looks better than this. Just stretching the photos kind of, you know, it's a little, I forget what you say, artifacts. There's kind of like scratchy artifacts on it. But it is a Space 4X game where you're going to have factions. You're going to have your home base. You're going to have space planets that you can own NFTs. They're going to harvest resources. You're going to be able to fight over those resources against real players. You're going to be able to hire your friends and family members to defend your planets. And I think it's just going to be a pretty epic Space 4X game. The concept art, everything just looks really cool about it. It's got this kind of like steampunkish look. And yeah, here's some of the land sales, the land grabs that you're going to be able to do if you have one of the planet NFTs, which I think are still being sold. There's probably still a handful at least being sold secondhand and OpenSea. Just make sure you're buying from a verified seller. But yeah, it looks like it's just a really cool Space 4X game. I'm into this. Having different seasons, I suppose. You know, repair bays, this looks like. It's just, or a construction bay. Yeah, a construction bay for the ships. This reminds me of EVE Online, or not EVE Online, Homeworld. Seeing the ships be constructed like this in Homeworld. If you've ever played that. But it's Space 4X game that just looks like it has a lot of passion behind it, and I'm super pumped to follow them and see their progress and play their games soon. So if you haven't followed Echoes Empire, please consider following them. I'll stop rambling, guys. It's been a couple minutes, and we'll get straight to the live stream recap.
And you're probably wondering, what on earth is Galaverese, and who on earth are Gala? Gala was originally known as Gala Games. We're a gaming company that happens to build games on the blockchain. And the reason we do that isn't because we were trying to do something cool with new technology. It's because we really care about content ownership and the opportunity that that gives players as well as developers. Over the course of last year, we learned a huge amount. We fell on our face a few times, as all things that are new do occasionally. And I think what was most exciting about all of the things that we learned was how big this opportunity is. The Web3 space is so exciting. We took what we learned from games and we started to think about how that could be applied to other creative industries, such as music and such as film. And these three industries have something immensely important in common. They're all about imagination, creativity, independent artists and producers and writers and dreamers, and those with imagination to bring stuff to the world that others will truly enjoy. We believe in the power of play to earn, listen to earn, watch to earn. And we are so excited about those three things coming together. This is entertainment in a way you've never experienced it before. This is entertainment that's fairer, that's bigger, and that's better than ever. Entertainment brought to you in a way that not only entrances you and delights you, but rewards you too. And, as well as rewarding you, it rewards the creators.
the moment that it's all going to start to change. This is going to go to the entire gaming world.
So yeah, as a real quick interjection. So yeah, they've clearly become really good at marketing and advertising and just getting you pumped and hyped off games. But they're also really good at following up, and they're creating games that are engaging and fun to play. You know, it goes back to the main theme. They're making games you actually want to play, and they're all under one house now. It's called, you know, Gala Entertainment or Gala Media, multimedia, you know, games, music, film. So it's really huge, really big, and it looks like we also saw a little bit more footage on some of those games.
I feel a little bad for all the actors dressed up in all these really amazing costumes. They are just sweating, but they're professionals and they're powering through it. It's pretty.
I watched the trailer. I don't know if people have watched the trailer or not, but oh my gosh.
Yeah, guys, and don't forget, that is huge. One of the first blockchain games
A
ever
battle
to go
royale,
mainstream on a main
yes?
platform,
We were big
Epic Games
fans of a
Store.
game called
Very
PUBG,
big
which is
turning
a
point
similar
for
battle
blockchain
royale, but we
later.
really wanted to kind of turn it on its head and put it in a unique environment. And we're big fans of old Western movies and spaghetti Westerns, and so we said, you know, why not the Old West? You know, a lot of people, you know, might say, oh, but gamers don't like, you know, Old West games. It's like, no, they actually do, and it's just a ripe sandbox for really fun gunplay, dynamites, you know, TNT, horseback combat, trains, and you know, it's just been it's a fertile ground for really cool creative ideas.
You know, at the beginning of the match, you have some randomness introduced in terms of the playing cards. So the cards come up and decide what type of experience you're going to have, and it's going to change every game. And so I think that uniquely, you know, brings the player in to say, okay, I don't know what's coming, but it's going to be fun. And so then you get the cards and you're like, all right, I'm going to saddle up and ride into this one and try to shoot as many people as possible. So,
Is there a social aspect to this game as well?
Yeah, we allow you to play, you can play solo, but we also allow you to play duos, you know, with you and a friend, as well as squads, up to 4 players playing together as a team. Whereas voice chat is integrated as well, so you can communicate with other players. And of course, there are moderation controls to make sure you're not hearing things that you don't want to hear. But yeah, there's definitely the social component to it, as well as participation on our Discord server. We have a pretty healthy and active Discord that we participate in. The developers are in there all the time answering questions. We like to play test with our community. So we'll run play tests with them, get their feedback, and incorporate ideas even. It's an evolving game. We're always trying to think of new things, and a lot of times, in fact, I would give it a great example of the way you control our horse. The horse in the game it's kind of a throttle system, so you're not having to hold the key down the whole time to run forward. You just set a throttle. That idea actually came from a member of our community, and we thought, hey, we should at least try that. We tried it, we loved it, we kept it.
Can you also talk a little bit about your relationship with Gala and where do you see the future going with Gala?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, back in January or December, we'd heard a little bit about Gala, and we became aware of that. And then once we got into talks with them, it was just kind of like a natural match. They do a great job in terms of coming up with the economy and the production. Obviously, the marketing is fantastic. And they bring a lot to the table, and then we of course bring the game to the table, and so it's been a really great partnership working with them.
Yeah, the more we've learned about like decentralized technologies and their actual place in the world of like where can they be meaningful. We thought that Gala actually brought a really interesting perspective to that, and it caused us to do more research on our own, and it didn't take long for us to become true believers, and we're like, oh, this actually makes a lot of sense for the players, makes a lot of sense for us, and it's just, I think we'll create a better world with these technologies. So getting to work with the premier Web3 entertainment company in the world and partner on something as big as this, and then to be able additionally to add Epic Games as yet another partner in this incredible mix. It's the biggest news in crypto gaming pretty much ever, as far as I'm concerned. Like, this is a really big deal.
I am thrilled to announce that Gala Games has signed a partnership with Epic Games to bring Grit to the Epic Games Store as one of the first blockchain games. We consider ourselves pioneers at Gala Games, and we've always respected Epic Games as that same type of company. We applaud their boldness in taking a stand for Web3 and allowing their players to finally own assets in the games. This is enormous news for Gala and obviously for Grit, but more so for the entire Web3 gaming industry. I view this as a pivotal moment that will accelerate the change to players finally playing for keeps. You're going to own your characters, you're going to own your horses, you're going to own your weapons when you play Grit. And this is the moment that over 190 million Epic players will be able to log into their Epic account and get into Grit and start earning rewards immediately.
As Gala moves further and further into the entertainment space, it's really important that we find the right partners and we make the friends that we need to carry on growing and to carry on doing new and exciting things. And when it comes to music, we're working with some of the biggest and best in the world. And there's one man in particular that we've grown very close to over the last few months that wanted to say a few words.
What it do, is your boy Big Snoop Double G checking in live from Bora Bora. Just want to give you some information on Gala Games.
I have
Gala
your music tracks.
Gala in general. Now, Gala got a new project they just dropped, Mount Westmore. Bad motherfuckers. Make sure you get it, and if you ain't got it, you better go get it.
He said it, not
Mount
me.
Westmore, great record, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, E40, Too Short, classic West Coast shit.
Yeah, what's up? Y'all know what it is, Mount Westmore, man. 4 pillars of West Coast hip-hop. You got E40, Too Short, Snoop Dogg, and your homeboy Ice Cube. And we down with Gala music, you know what I'm saying? We coming out with that Mount Westmore, Bad Motherfuckers album. Yeah, June 7th. So, you know me, it's right here. Get that shit, cop that shit. We're gonna be lacing y'all throughout the whole project with new music, new motherfucking experiences, shows, everything that the Westmore got, baby. You gonna get it. So fuck with us on June 7th. Fuck with that album, Bad Motherfuckers, from the pillars of West Coast hip hop, Mount Westmore.
If you're new
Foundation,
to
baby, the foundation. Shout out to the whales out there.
Gala
all the
Games
whales.
site directly, and also, I mean, how can you not like Ice Cube? I mean, come on.
Let's go.
You know how I go.
The guy is the exact same person when he's
Also,
acting in
Death Row
films as well.
Records is connected with Gala Music. Gala is the king of Web3. Yeah, we about to change the whole game as far as films, TV, music, all of the above. Gala Games. I'm excited to be working with them. We dropped a couple of projects to kick the year off, and we've been rocking and rolling. We got new artists, all types of developments. So Gala Games, Snoop Dogg, Death Row Records, coming to a hood near you. Get it, got it, gone.
You gotta love Snoop. That energy, that drive, he is truly a friend of Gala. So, while we're on the topic of music, I believe, and you might have seen it in an earlier clip, but the skate park, the inner city street scene in Galaverese this year was absolutely epic.
What is up, Galaverse Digital Day 3? It is good to see you. I am Bane Laker. I am here with the amazing A. Frank. We're here from Gala Music, here to talk just a little bit about what's going on with music. We've had a lot of artists on stage this week. Who's your favorite?
I mean, every artist is amazing. I mean, Disclosure, you know, you can't, at Phoenix, how do you pick? And then Noel Gallagher, like, he's such an icon.
Like, absolute legend.
Legend.
You know?
You're basically asking me, like, this is a Sophie's Choice moment. Basically, I think everyone who's here just got 2 amazing nights of entertainment. This is just the beginning, right? I think we announced some cool stuff and we announced some really exciting partnerships, but this is just the start for us, right? I think it's the start for Web3 in the music space, and how do we change the industry, move the industry forward. Every artist, manager, label that I talk to is so excited about this space and opportunities, the potential, what they can do, how it's going to change what they do, how they can amplify what they do best. And so this is just the beginning. So our announcement's so exciting, but like there's so much more in store.
Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, E40, Too Short.
Yes.
Put together this amazing supergroup. They're dropping this album. They've dropped it now with us.
Yeah.
Exclusive on the chain. We've got it. But the artwork that goes along with those tracks is just unfreaking believable.
These guys think about the fans. So it's not always about what we can put on display up front. You know, they want to make sure there's continued love from the holders and the supporters for those guys from the artists.
Speaking of in-store, we had October London, Jane Hancock, our first 2 emerging artists on Gala Music that came earlier this year. Think we'll see more from them this year?
I would absolutely think so, cannot doubt it. What they've been able to create so far and what they have in the pipe is massive. I'm just excited to hear what's coming from them, and again, how they can push their own creative boundaries as well as what we could do with Gala.
And we're going to be whitelisting people for these, right? That had the October and Jane drops originally.
Again, one of the big pillars of Gala Music is to make sure that audiences and fans are rewarded and engaged for holding the NFTs, for buying them, for being early, for supporting their artists
for running
and fans.
nodes and buying nodes.
Oh
too.
yeah. What we want to make sure we're doing at Gala Music is we're giving artists more creative freedom than they've had before. We want to give them new avenues for revenue, and then we want to give fans an opportunity to engage with that music in a way they haven't before, where there's mutual incentives and rewards and experiences that both fans and artists can experience together.
Hey everyone, it's Paris. I wish I could be at Galaverse, but instead I thought I'd send a video to say hello to everyone. I've been seeing all the tweets, and as the former queen of the clubs, who's now the queen of the metaverse, I can tell that I'm missing a great party. I love how Web3 gives back power to the creator and consumer. As everyone knows by now, I am all in Web3, and I love that launching entertainment properties, whether it's a song, a film, in Web3, just gives the control back to the creator and really engages the fans, viewers, and listeners. My media company 1111 has done $4 billion of product revenue over the last decade, but I'm even more excited about the possibilities of Web3 in entertainment. And I am so excited to push this new way of thinking to my 75 million social media followers around the world. When I started to talk to Gala about partnering, it was about music and games. But now I'm so excited to watch Gala become the leading Web3 entertainment company, and I'm so excited to be partnering with them in the future across all of entertainment. I want to continue to be the leader and continue to innovate, which is why Gala is the perfect partner for myself and 1111 as they are doing the same. From one woman of Web3 to another, I want to pass it back over to Mona, who's in the Galaverse.
You know, I always say, how did you start in this industry? Because everyone has their own story. How did you get here? And what are some of the projects you're working on?
Yeah, so actually how I got here was I was day trading and I found an NFT project that I really liked. It was really the first NFT project that existed. And I joined the community and I was like, you know, these NFTs need utility. The team's they're not willing to listen to my advice. They're too busy. And my friend was like, you know, you can do that on your own. You can create your own project. You can wrap this. So a week later, we had created a whole project, a whole game out of this project. We were wrapped in NFT. You basically turn it into like a Tamagotchi where you fed it and you mine from it. And after realizing that all I need is like a great idea and people behind me, I can do whatever I want in this space, which is like a very freeing feeling to have. Like, you can do what you want, what you care about, you can really find it here.
And that's exactly the message we want to give women in Web3, because certainly this is a male-dominated space. But you know what's amazing about it is that it's a creative space, right? And women love to be creative. Tell us a little bit about the women-based projects that you're working on in this space.
Yeah, so most notably would be Fame Lady Squad. It was the first all-female generative profile picture project to ever launch on Ethereum of July of last year. It was actually launched by the first all-female team to ever launch a project, or at least that's what we were told. We found out about a month later it was actually 3 Russian men running the project, lying that they were women. We were able to, though, as a community, convince the original team to send us the whole project.
And you know, I know that Gala Games, their mission is just that, to bring more women to this space, to bring empowerment, to educate people. Can you talk to us a little bit about the role women can have in this space?
Well, I really think, you know, women are great at community building. They're great at being creative. They really fill a role that is perfect for this space. You know, I have friends that are in South Africa, Uganda, Malaysia, that are earning 6 figures running communities, and that's enough money to run their whole town at that point. Like, it's really creating opportunities for women, no matter where you're at, experience-wise. You know, there's nobody coming in with degrees in NFTs or 10 years of experience. So now you're at the layer where you can break through. All it needs is dedication.
And speaking of that, talk to us about entry points. So what are some of the easy, user-friendly entry point for women who want to get in?
Start with joining a community. It's not about spending money. It's not about investing. You really want to invest your time more than anything. You know, but nobody wants to come in and not know anything and spend their money, and that's not what we expect of anybody. We want people to come in and just learn, join the communities, get to know what's going on, and really find a place for themselves.
What is Gala?
Gala is a whole universe, right? We got films, music, games. I mean, what don't they do?
We need more people like you. Thank you for being out there and teaching us, and please keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't believe how much content we've got for you all. There is so much still to come. But for our next guest, I think it's time to see a familiar face. I know he's a favorite among the community, and he's somebody that is a dear friend to me too. So I'm handing over to Mr. Bitbender Brink.
Townstar was our first game, okay? And it is something that we are dedicated to supporting, to continuing to improve. Townstar itself has a remarkably dedicated player base. In the normal, like, free-to-play world, okay, you might have a day 30 retention of a few percent. Our day 30 retention for Townstar players is like over 40%. People love the game. When they love the game, they really love it. I suck at it. I'm terrible at it. I can never make gasoline. I don't have the patience for it. I'm busy doing too much stuff. So I don't play it, but I love that people love it. And that really, really matters. It's a very difficult game that looks deceptively easy.
I need to follow
because
some
if you look at it, you're like,
tutorials
oh,
from
look at
these
the little farmer
other creators out there
around.
that've been
So
in here for a while.
It will wreck you.
I suck at Townstar.
It will absolutely wreck you. You will be torn apart by your own hubris there. It fires me up that we're right on the precipice of bringing hundreds of millions of people into the space and giving them the ability to own their assets for the first time and to really experience what that means in a way that is very low friction. Typically speaking, in the blockchain space and for the longest period of time, it has been incredibly difficult to get into the blockchain world simply because it's so scary. It's so weird. You know, you're going to send magical internet money to someone and it's this address is a bunch of letters and numbers and oh my God, this is scary, right? What we're doing with this deal with Grit and Epic, for example, is it's going to be possible for 194 million Epic users to log into the Gala platform using their Epic account. one-click sign-on, okay, and then they can play a game. Now, they don't have to even touch.
I'm just going to pause this really quick so we don't miss anything. I'll probably do that from now on. So just real quick touch up on this. What he's talking about, and this is what I covered in my video, is it's a barrier to entry known in business, and the lower that you get that, the more that a consumer can consume your product, service, or good. And so he's talking about accessibility, right? There's also these things called single sign-ons, which you might use for your organization when you're logging in to complete your benefits, or you're doing a payroll, or you're doing anything within your organization. You usually use an SSO, single sign-on, where you can access all these things. You can access your pay, your PTO, whatever. Accessibility is very key. The more accessibility, the higher level of accessibility you have, the more adoption you have. The more adoption you have, the greater accessibility you have. So they're both kind of like, correlated, if you will. But really, really important. This is a huge milestone. It's probably the biggest news out of Galaverse, in my opinion, is that you literally have a Gala game coming to Epic Games Store, a mainstream platform. Now, there's always the argument between that and Steam and whatever, and it's not as big as Steam, whatever. Game theory, guys, and businesses will compete. Steam will start launching blockchain games. Mark my words. So this is really huge news. Can't undermine this. You really have to pay attention to the space, because this is a turning point where, if there wasn't a turning point before, this is a turning point where, you open up the door and the flood comes through. So this is really cool.
NFTs or blockchain assets or anything like that, it's invisible to them unless they would like to know more. And if they want to know more, then they can go into it a little bit more deeply and they can create a wallet. But we're making it so that there's multiple ways for them to do this. So it's not a high friction, you have to write down your mnemonic, 12-word key phrase and all of this stuff. Like, there's multiple options and multiple levels of complexity. And there is nothing that is 2 orders of magnitude close to this. It's insane.
Someone was murdered in the background while Jason was talking.
So that was all very exciting, but I think it's time for a change in topic. Let's talk about Vox. Vox is one of the most exciting things to come out of Gala that I don't feel like you guys know enough about. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to one of the team who could give you the inside track as to exactly why we should all be very, 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 very excited. We're excited to announce Gala Films. The general idea for the first feature film for Vox is around these 2 worlds meeting, the real world and this new Web3 world.
Up until now, we've had a very limited idea of kind of what these Vox are, where they come from, who are they. But the movie is going to actually start uncovering a lot of this.
Not only is Gala Games and their fans going to be excited, but this is a movie and a project that's going to change the shape of what people have seen before with animated film. I'm super excited to announce the film screenwriter, Adam Pop.
It's just been so fun working with the Gala Games people and Blue Eyes Entertainment and just being part of this exciting opportunity.
Adam's the perfect writer for this film, hands down. Having his mind and the way that he's able to take humor and make everything so relatable.
Just like we did with the Lego movie, where we took all these disparate aspects and brought them all together, that's sort of what's amazing about the Gala Games ecosystem. We have this opportunity to take all these different realms, these different games, these different types of characters, and find a way to connect them all. So it really is just this huge sandbox to be able to write a movie in. In this movie, we really focus on this gamer who's like a high school girl named Erin, and she loves gaming. And then we have her dad, who's this guy that does not understand it at all. End up being this story where they have to work together as they actually end up in the world of these games. You really get to explore all the comedy of somebody who doesn't understand them at all and somebody who knows them super well as they go on this amazing adventure together.
Community is the single most important thing that makes Gala what it is. And whether it's games, whether it's music, or now film, if it doesn't benefit them, we don't do it.
Sorry about that, guys. I actually hit a quick pause. I have 4 rescue dogs, so yeah, I'm not a dog hoarder, but I have 4 rescue dogs. Growing up, I had 4, so like to rescue them. But yeah, they're sometimes a little pain in the butts. So I was just cleaning up a little mess of sticks they decided to bring in the house and chew up to oblivion. So just a little fact about me. We'll get back to the show.
Welcome to the data lane. Please keep your arms and legs inside of the wormhole when traveling between games as a boxers.
That little synth beat there that hits hard AF, as the kids say. Hard AF.
Today I have the very distinct pleasure of chatting to a true gaming legend, Mr. Will Wright. You have clearly been doing this a long time and you've tapped into something. Can you talk us through your approach to game design?
Well, typically I always enjoyed playing games, and I got into computers really early on. And at some point in my career, it was just like I started making the games I wanted to play. When I got my first computer, I started realizing I could build models on the computer, dynamic models, and I think my career just kind of reflects that, I like building models I like to play with.
What are you hoping to accomplish with the Voxworld?
I'm interested in the scale of it, that we have one world, it's not all these different shards and stuff that everybody is in. And also, I really want to push the player creativity and the social side of things. I want the players to have the tools to drive the design of what this world becomes.
I think in that same vein, there's a really cool technology that you're a fan of that we want to leverage for the Voxverse, and it's called shape grammars. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, shape grammars are a very particular form of procedural generation, which means that we can teach the computer certain rules about how a house is constructed. It has a front door, it has a roof, it might have 1 or 2 or 3 floors. But then, rather than have the player build, every bit of that house piece by piece, they can actually get 10 house plans. Say, oh, I like that one. And it'll take that house plan and mutate it, show you 10 variations of that house plan. And that way, I think we're able to allow the players to actually design most of what the world actually is.
Absolutely, and I think this is such a clever way to do it, where it's not cumbersome design, but it really does enable players to unleash their creativity and just go through these mutations and figure out what they can do that's never been done before.
I really want most of the stuff in this world to feel unique, just like the Vox.
Tell us a little bit about land in Voxverse. How does that work out?
We're actually thinking a lot about the subsurface. That maybe when you buy a plot of land on the surface, you get subterranean rights that kind of shrink as you go down every level. So you can build a big basement, a big cellar, an underground club, whatever you want. But at some point, it kind of diminishes to zero. And so the internal space of this Vox world, which right now we're conceptualizing as a cube, is going to be kind of no man's land, and that we can do, adventures, quests, crime families might go down there and you could build a whole, civilization down there, and even discover an ancient civilization and find treasure from there.
So we're talking about almost 3D plots of land that diminish into a point as you get closer and closer to, I've heard the word seedy underbelly thrown around.
Yeah. We want to role play a lot. We don't want players griefing each other, obviously. And yeah, you're right. The land ownership, it's going to kind of come down like a pyramid almost underneath a plot of land. And we can go pretty deep with that. So you can still have a lot of underground stuff under your plot of land.
I think that's a nice segue into the social economy of Voxverse.
But at the end of the day, I really want the social economy to be more important. And by social economy, I mean that every time you meet a new Vox, they get added to your social network. In addition to that, we're going to have kind of global social stats. Another one would be trusted, feared, and famous. The social thing is going to actually leverage that and make it successful.
I love that your experience is meaningfully different if you're a Vox holder, and that kind of opens up a whole new facet to the game. Thank you so much for your time, Will.
So yeah, guys, as an outsider or consumer here, not the creative mind of Wright, I see Vox as just like maybe surface level. It's just kind of like Minecraft, creative freedom of Minecraft, the kind of like almost art style. It's very similar, paired with your characters being unique NFTs, the world itself, having NFT aspects to it. But it seems like it's going to also be something that is just metaverse across all these different gaming ecosystems that might integrate with different ecosystems, right? So there's a value proposition in that. But I think Vox has like a potential to be very big because it could essentially be what he said. I think giving that creative freedom to the players, letting people design their own worlds, like create their own games, their own communities, their own, factions in a giant macro world. And it just sounds like it's going to really scale up to where it's like, this metaverse game identity, everything. Like it's going to be something that, you have the creative freedom to kind of take your story how you want it to. And I think that speaks to Wright. It's like Wright said, at some point I started creating games I wanted to play. I started creating games. And I think that's what he's trying to do, is like give the Vox holders a unique capability to help create these worlds themselves as well. So, there's very creative people and diversity of thought. I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff developed in the, Vox metaverse, so to speak, in the Vox world. So I think there's some announcement about Vox Souls. So I need to do some more coverage on that. But Vox is pretty interesting, and I think the sky's the limit on that project as well.
All right, we're going to talk about film just briefly. So we're very excited about film, and in fact so much so that this year in the Galaverse we created little secret cinemas. We wanted to create an experience where everything was interconnected. So from games to music to film to art, everything works and exists together, which is kind of what Web3 is all about.
Thank you very much, Sarah. My name is Peter. I'm from Singapore. I'm the founder of I&I.Co. I&I.Co has been viewed more than 46.5 billion views in about 3 years. I&I.Co exists because we wanted to remind children, young people, and even people who are not so young that everything is going to be okay. Our slogan is love can happen anywhere. I&I.Co comes from the part of my life many years ago. To tell the story properly, it really began when I was about 6 years old. I went to a free trial art lesson near a place where I stay in Ang Mo Kio, Singapore. So it's a free trial art lesson. I was one of the first and earliest kids to sign up. Unfortunately, what happened at a free trial lesson is the teacher realized that I don't have the fees, the funds to pay for the next future lesson. So what happened is the teacher told me, maybe you get out of the class. The seat could be taken by somebody else who could afford. I went home and cried. Reaching home, my grandfather is asking me, "Why are you crying? What happened? Tell me." So I told him what happened. Why am I different from other people? Why is it that we couldn't afford something like a $20 fee to attend the art lesson? So my grandfather said, "Man, why do you want to be the same as other people?" And he did told me a story to encourage me. So he did told me this story about there was this young little boy who used to be just like me, right? His hair looks like you. His eyebrow is very thick like you. He likes to wear red color shirt just like you. And what important, he's just like you, right? The way he hold a pencil, 4 fingers wrapped around the pen, like this. And he couldn't told, he was told he couldn't draw properly. And what happened is he believed in himself. He never gave up on his dreams. Before he died, he became very successful. He created Disneyland. His name was Picasso. The last lesson, probably he's teaching me indirectly, is that sometimes we don't realize the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Sometimes later becomes never. Sometimes if we hesitate a bit, we may never get a second chance to do something like this. I think storytelling is and will always be one of the most important and powerful way to change people's mind, or to inspire, or to remind people of very important emotions, messages, or timely messages, like love, right? Especially in a world where hurt shouts. I think there's a lot of things we can do, and the best way to do it is through storytelling. Everywhere you look, love is always around us. You just need to open your eyes and be aware. There's always hope. So don't feel lonely. Don't be depressed. There's always hope and love around you. Storytelling is and will always be the most powerful way to inspire people. And I think Gala Films has the opportunity to really create the next generation storytelling. Because I believe the next generation storytelling will be figured out and will be built on metaverse. And with the commitment and the value shared between me and Gala Films into one area with so much resources, with so much dedicated people, and we are talking about really good people all coming together to create this ecosystem, I think I and ICO, with the support of Gala Film, might be able to figure out the next generation storytelling. And if we can do that, no matter what kind of investment we are looking at, no matter what kind of resources we need to put in, what kind of hard work we need to put in, if we can do that successfully, I think a lot of things is going to change for a lot of people. Even if we were to fail, which I don't think we will, the losses is personal. But if we were to succeed and figure out the next generation storytelling with Gala Film, I think the world will be a slightly better place. And this is why I'm really excited, for any opportunity to see how I can do and explore to do something really special with Gala Film.
So there we go. We had a message. I just want to pause this because I had some questions and confusion, and it's kind of still do. I've been asking in Discord chat, trying to figure out where did Gala Film Pass go? They're on OpenSea being sold secondhand, way over I think the $3,000-ish starting price. They're being sold or up for sale offers for almost $5,000 or something. So yeah, it looks like $4,000 and only 750 available. Founders and music nodes only. Sale starts Wednesday, June 8th, 8 p.m. So I suppose that's today. Pacific time, okay, 11 a.m. So for my time, that should be in approximately 30 minutes. Ooh, okay. So guys, if you're watching this, you're probably watching it retro. Sorry, again, once I have 100 subscribers, I think I can do live streams. Not asking for subscribers, but I just have to get to that personal goal first, and then eventually I'll be able to do live streams, which would be fun. But yeah, sale closes Friday at midnight PT. $4,000 a pop and only 750 available. So yeah, only 750 available. That's interesting because the music nodes were kind of not capped. I mean, they eventually, I think, stopped the sale at 25,000, if I believe right. There's 50,000 total founders nodes. They're up like 42,000 sold, or 40 something thousand sold now. Those are almost gone. And then, yeah, 4,000 and only 750 available. I think that's interesting. I know that the Gala Gold members, you're going to have an opportunity tomorrow. So watch out if you don't have these nodes. Gala Gold should have an opportunity tomorrow, because it looks like everything was delayed by a day. Because yesterday, Gala node owners were supposed to have access, according to the whitelist email from Gala Games, and also a message that was apparently from Bucks on Discord. So, yeah, if you're looking for a Gala film node and you don't have a node, $4,000, probably going to be about your starting price, and or might be a little bit more expensive, because the $3,000 I again think was about the starting price for the Galaverse day one members. So guys, I think the kind of theme though with all NFTs in Gala itself is that, you know, it does pay to be early. It does pay to participate in this ecosystem, you know, aka go to Galaverse. I just hope that, you know, while I understand the exclusivities for people that attended in Malta, not everyone, you know, can go to Malta. There's, you know, not everyone can go from wherever they are in the world, whether they're in the United States or not, or, you know, or if they're overseas and they're trying to come to the US for one of these events. And I appreciate that they've changed locations to, you know, rotate and meet more people demographically. But, you know, I just hope that we don't get to the point where people are, you know, kind of almost excluded from participating in certain sales of very, you know, things that part of the ecosystems that are very valuable, very big, because, you know, they didn't attend one area over another. You know, if someone's very tight on cash, etc., you know, they might not even be able to afford that $3,000 ticket for, you know, an original node here in the Gala Film Pass. If it goes up to 4,000, and then if it goes to 4,500 or 5,000 for Gala Gold, I guess we'll see tomorrow. But if it scales up there, that just prices out more and more people to opportunity. And I hate to see people get priced out of opportunity. So that's my only gripe with that. But I'll digress. I won't be a wet rag about this if that's the saying. We'll get back to it.
Oh, that's it. That's the end. We finished. I'm so sad, but there will be another Galaverse, there will be another live show, and more importantly, there is so much happening over the summer. Whilst Galaverse is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate with you guys and to give you something to get excited about, there are more games coming, there are more musicians coming, and now there are films coming too. So stick with us, enjoy your summers, and we will see you really soon. Let's hand back for one final time to the Galaverse. Some of us haven't been at Galaverse this year, and you might be looking at this from afar, wondering what on earth this is all about. For some people, it is a celebration of community, a big way for Gala to say thank you to all of those who have supported us on our journey so far.
I'm surprised, look at that, this is miracle.
First class all the way.
Yay! Amazing, this is like on a whole nother level, for sure.
Epic. But what some of you might not realize is that Galaverse is so much more than games and drops and community celebration. It's also more than the announcements of things like music and film. Underneath Galaverse is something hugely more important. Galaverse isn't just hyperbole. Galaverse is about Gala as a brand and our belief that all creators and people who want to create change in the world should be given the opportunity to do their thing. Galaverse is a celebration of talent. It supports people from a huge range of creative industries. It is actually an example of Gala giving back, not Gala taking away from our growing community. It's about investing in creatives in the real world, from makeup artists to costume designers, from set designers to sound engineers to lighting specialists, from the people on the ground that get to build these amazing sets, to the people sat at the screens bringing visuals to life. Galaverse is so much more than it first appears. It's a celebration of what happens when people can come together. And for anybody that doesn't understand why we're doing what we do, Galaverse is a brilliant way to start coming on that journey with us. Here's to the creatives. Here's to the ones that want to work together to build something better and to make magic truly happen in the digital world and the physical world too. Hello, you made it. You are the fine few that watched the show live and have got all the way to the end. And as tradition states, when people do that, when they get through to the hidden level, when they persevere, when they show loyalty and dedication, they should definitely benefit and get something. So if you guys scan the QR code here, it will take you through to a form. Put the email address in that form that you use with your Gala account. So if you don't have a Gala account, you have a little bit less than 30 minutes to get one ready. Put that email address into the form, and we are going to drop you something very special to celebrate with you Gala and our entrance into Web3 entertainment. Gala games, Gala music, Gala film. It's all getting very exciting. This is the Galaverse. I am Bucks, and I'm so looking forward to seeing all of you again soon.
All right, guys. So Bucks kind of got drowned out by some of the music, which was a shame because she's excellent at being inspirational and motivational to listen to. She's very charismatic, kind-hearted individual that just seems to really be passionate about what she does for a living, especially, you know, starting with the Gala whole ecosystem and then also focusing on the Gala music. So, you know, it was kind of a moving speech, I thought. But anyway, when she was getting drowned out, she was talking about, I could kind of barely hear it, but she was talking about putting opportunity back in the hands of people that, you know, want to change the world of gaming, the games they play, the music they listen to, and the film, right? So I think the whole theme here is just kind of about empowerment of ecosystems, empowerment of the consumers, empowerment of the developers, the artists, the movie producers, the film producers, etc. This is taking out kind of those middlemen that have built businesses around this, which have like sucked out like, you know, revenue that provides, you know, a living wage for people, right? That could provide living wages for many people, and giving it back to, you know, everyone else. And that's what I think, you know, Web3 is really doing, is it's creating this sense of ownership, this ownership on the web, right? It's not just interactivity anymore. It's now ownership of the digital, you know, web, metaverse, whatever, Galaverse. And that's really cool. It's really, you know, if you're listening to this, hats off to you. I'm not gonna take my hat off because I have like hat hair right now. You don't want to see my long locks all hat haired. But hats off to you for paying attention, being in on this, and being here, because you are ahead of hundreds of millions of people, billions of people. So that's really cool. And just to share this kind of passion and nerdisms with people is also fun. But hey, did you get the QR code? Because like she said, it's right here as well. Pause this. You can download this QR code, and it sounds like you're going to be eligible for an airdrop. Just make sure that you have a Gala Games account. I don't know. It just registered my email that's with my Gala Games account. I just threw that in there, and it said it was good to go. So you may just need to do that. Just use your Gala Games registered email. Should be good to go. Elsewise, if you put in an email there that they don't recognize, it'll probably prompt you to create an account for Gala. Down the affiliates below, if you want to support this site or whatever, I don't know if there's any bonuses per se for using it, so don't worry about it if there isn't, but there is a referral code down there. There used to be bonuses and stuff. I think maybe you get some like in-game currency or bonus or something, but don't hold me to that. But anyway, those are just free affiliate links. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but if you want to check that down in the description below the video, if you click show more right below or into there, you can see the whole description. So either way, guys, kind of just rambling on. This is what I do here. If you like kind of the podcasty, non-scripted, more just open discussion, trying to be thoughtful, I would love to hear some of your opinions and such. It looks like Echoes of Empire gave my Twitter handle a follow, which is huge because we're just like I'm just so small right now, I'm just a small creator just trying to get started in between my 9 to 5. And so it meant a lot to me. So if you're Echoes of Empire, thank you so much. I think your game's going to be really big someday, and you guys don't have enough followers either. So I'm going to link their Twitter once again down below in the comments. Give them a follow. I'm sure that this account will have thousands of followers eventually, and who knows, a lot of these game developers like to reward people for paying attention and participating. If you look at Phantom Galaxies, things like that, another space type game, they had airdrops and stuff like that for free NFTs. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to speak for Echoes of Empire, but I'm just saying pay attention to what they're doing, what they're building, and they seem like a creative group, and I think their Space Forks game is going to be really, really fun. And I am again looking for my Earth Defense Force kind of group there to keep the pirates off my planet that I own. So if you're trying to play some Echoes of Empire in the future when it gets released, let me know. And until next time, guys, remember, like I always like to say, you probably already know what I'm going to say if you've watched a couple, but coffee's on me.